How?
Understanding pharmacogenetics, tailoring medicine to your DNA. Hey everyone! Welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of pharmacogenetics. We'll explore how factors like drug targets, metabolizing enzymes, protein binding, transporters, drug resistance, drug-drug interactions, and even the host microbiome can impact how our bodies respond to medications. So, let's get started. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is pharmacogenetics? Well, let's break it down together. Well, it's the study of how our genetic makeup influences our response to drugs. This means that two people can take the same medication, but one might experience great relief while the other faces adverse effects. Understanding this can lead to more personalized and effective treatments. Let's go over some key terms that will help us understand this better. 1. Genetic variations. These are differences in our DNA that can affect how we metabolize drugs. A common type of genetic variation is called a single nucleotide polymorphism, or SNP for short. Think of SNPs as tiny spelling mistakes in our genetic code that can change how we respond to medications. 2. Pharmacodynamics. This refers to how a drug affects the body. It's all about the drug's mechanism of action and how it interacts with its target in our body. 3. Pharmacogenetics. This is the study of how our body absorbs, distributes, metabolizes, and excretes drugs. In simpler terms, it's how our body handles medications from the moment we take them until they leave our system. So, why does pharmacogenetics matter? Well, it can help us tailor medical treatments to individuals. For example, if we know that someone has a specific genetic variant that affects how they metabolize a drug, we can adjust the dosage or even choose a different medication altogether. This is what we call personalized medicine. Personalized medicine aims to enhance pharmacotherapy by maximizing drug efficacy while minimizing toxicity. Imagine a world where your doctor can prescribe the perfect medication for you based on your genetic profile. That's the future we're heading towards. Now, let's look at some real-world applications. Take the drug warfarin, for instance. It's a common blood thinner, but the right dose varies from person to person. Genetic testing can help determine the best dose for you, reducing the risk of complications. Another example is tamoxifen, used in breast cancer treatment. Research shows that patients with certain genetic markers may respond better to this medication, highlighting the importance of pharmacogenetics in oncology. But it's not all smooth sailing. There are challenges in implementing pharmacogenetics in everyday practice, including the need for more research and the cost of genetic testing. However, the potential benefits are enormous. Pharmacogenetics is a game changer in medicine. By understanding our genetic makeup, we can improve drug therapy, reduce adverse drug reactions, and ultimately enhance patient care. Key factors in pharmacogenetics. Now, let's break down the key players in this process. Starting with drug targets. These are specific molecules in our body that drugs interact with to produce their effects. Think of them as the locks that medications fit into. If a drug fits perfectly, it can work wonders. But if it doesn't, the treatment might not work as intended. Next up are metabolizing enzymes. These are proteins in our liver that help break down medications. A common example is the cytochrome P450 family of enzymes. Genetic variations can affect how quickly or slowly these enzymes work, which can change how much of a drug is active in your system. Some people may metabolize a drug too quickly, leading to reduced effectiveness, while others may do so too slowly, risking toxicity. Now, let's talk about protein binding. When drugs enter the bloodstream, they often bind to proteins like albumin. Only the unbound portion of the drug is active and can exert effects. Genetic differences can influence how much of a drug binds to these proteins, impacting its efficacy and safety. Next, we have transporters. These proteins help move drugs across cell membranes. For instance, some transporters can pump drugs out of cells, reducing their effectiveness. Variations in transporter genes can lead to differences in drug absorption and distribution in the body. Drug resistance is another critical factor. This occurs when bacteria or cancer cells adapt and become less susceptible to medications. Genetic mutations can lead to this resistance, making previously effective treatments less useful. Now, let's discuss drug-drug interactions. When two or more drugs are taken together, they can affect each other's effectiveness or increase the risk of side effects. Understanding a patient's full medication profile is crucial for avoiding these potentially harmful interactions. And we can't forget about the host microbiome. This refers to the trillions of microorganisms living in and on our bodies. Research shows that these microbes can influence drug metabolism and efficacy. For example, certain gut bacteria can help break down medications, affecting how well they work. So, there you have it. The interplay between drug targets, metabolizing enzymes, protein binding, transporters, drug resistance, drug-drug interactions, and the host microbiome all contribute to the complex world of pharmacogenetics. Understanding these factors can lead to more personalized medicine, maximizing drug efficacy and minimizing adverse effects. Developmental pharmacogenetics. So, what exactly is developmental pharmacogenetics? Well, let's start with the basics. Pharmacogenetics is the study of how our genes affect our response to medications. And when we talk about developmental pharmacogenetics, we're focusing on how these genetic factors influence drug responses at different stages of development, like during childhood and adolescence. You see, children are not just small adults. Their bodies process drugs differently due to ongoing growth and development. This means that a medication that works well for an adult might not have the same effect on a child. In fact, the same dose could lead to different outcomes. Some kids might respond really well, while others might experience side effects or even adverse reactions. Now, one key player in this process is something called single nucleotide polymorphisms, or SNPs, pronounced SNPs. These are tiny variations in our DNA that can influence how we metabolize drugs. For example, some kids might have a SNP that makes them metabolize a medication too quickly, meaning it won't be effective. Others might have a SNP that slows down metabolism, leading to higher drug levels in their system and an increased risk of side effects. This is where personalized medicine comes into play. By understanding a child's genetic makeup, healthcare providers can tailor drug therapies to ensure they are safe and effective. Imagine a world where doctors can prescribe the right medication at the right dose, just for you or your child, based on their unique genetic profile. That's the promise of developmental pharmacogenetics. But it's not just about genetics. Developmental pharmacogenetics also considers factors like age, gender, and even the presence of other health conditions. For instance, a child with asthma might respond differently to a bronchodilator depending on their genetic background and overall health. So, why does this matter? Well, it can significantly enhance pharmacotherapy for children, maximizing drug efficacy while minimizing toxicity. This means fewer trial-and-error prescriptions and a better quality of life for our little ones. In summary, developmental pharmacogenetics is all about understanding how our genes influence drug responses at different stages of life. It's a crucial step toward personalized medicine that can lead to safer and more effective treatments for children. Thanks for joining me today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more insights into the fascinating world of pharmacogenetics and personalized medicine. Until next time, take care.
Pharmapel.